Welcome to Wassiyyah. Islamic Will is the most popular and recognized in most parts of the world. What makes Islamic Will to be Islamic is an important question to address in the context of legal complexity and Islamic implications. Please click on subscribe to get updated with new Islamic estate planning knowledge. Create your strong, solid and smart estate plan before estate planning door closes. Door closes as soon as mental incapacity or death. Your question: what can and cannot make the Islamic will to be Islamic? Islamic will name itself is not adequate to make the will to be Islamic. If you keep the Islamic will to be, another name, such as last will, would not matter, but traditionally we use the word Islamic will. The declaration of Islamic faith and burial wishes paragraphs in the will are not adequate to make the will to be Islamic. The reason is that legal laws do not care about these. However, we include these traditionally. Islamic will cannot meet Islamic criteria if the distribution does not follow Islamic inheritance law. For example, if you have joint assets or an investment on which the beneficiary designated would not cover under any best Islamic will. Including all legal terms cannot make your will to be Islamic unless the estate distribution follows Islamic inheritance law. An attorney or expert cannot make will to be Islamic unless the estate distribution follows Islamic inheritance law. Missing any critical Islamic and legal requirements can turn will to be non-compliant. Not all requirements are part of the written portion of the will. So, it is difficult to ascertain by anyone what went wrong. Wassiyyah ensures that all these legal requirements are met. Wassiyyah will provide information on how to meet Islamic compliance. Your question: what are the Islamic and legal implications of Islamic will? Islamic will must go through probate. In some countries, probate is a court proceeding that may incur delays and costs before the will to be approved for distribution of estates. Muslim majority countries have Islamic law as the legal default Islamic inheritance system, which is one of the misconceptions most Muslims have. In some of the Muslim majority countries laws have been mixed with English or French laws. So, your estate's distribution may not go as you wish to be as per Islamic inheritance law. Also, Islamic jurisprudence schools do have differences of opinion in some of the scenarios of Islamic inheritance. As a result, the inheritance share can change drastically based on the jurisprudence schools. If you do not have a will, they would not know which jurisprudence you practice. The estate distribution will be according to the default jurisprudence system, which may differ from what you are practicing. Additionally, the laws are not uniform across Muslim majority countries. That may also impact inheritance share than traditional Islamic law. Muslim minority countries have the bigger challenge. And so, not having a proper estate plan would result in estate distribution according to the intestacy law of the country. You know, the intestacy laws are purely secular non-Islamic laws. Joint assets are one of the most common ways of owning property, bank accounts, and investments jointly for couple. It's great that you can avoid probate and have some tax benefits, but it will bypass Islamic law. You need to have a creative solution to achieve Islamic compliance, which Wassiyyah does offer. Testamentary bequest and debt obligation fulfillment rules of Islamic law differ from secular law. However, there are no restrictions in secular law to follow Islamic law. But if you do not have an estate plan, it will not follow your wishes, and that's the deal. Increased migration resulted in owning assets nationally and internationally. Your assets may be subject to inheritance or other tax consequences. Not having plan can result in loss from your inheritance. The reason is that Islamic inheritance law has quite a wide boundary of estate distribution. That extends to children, grandchildren, parents, grandparents, siblings, and possibly they may not reside in the same country as yours. So, estate distribution will be challenging. Now, this completes the tutorial. Hopefully, you will now be able to start your estate planning. We value and love your feedback. So, please remember to leave feedback. Thanks for watching!